He was 67. Sharp mind. Strong hands. But one morning, he forgot his own grandson's name. Was it dementia? No. It was a vitamin deficiency. What if I told you that millions of men over 60 are misdiagnosed, misunderstood, and slowly fading not from age, but from something fixable? Today, I'll reveal the 3 essential vitamins that can restore your energy, memory, and even confidence in the bedroom. If you're over 60 or love someone who is, this could change a life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Because aging isn't a sentence. It's a chapter and you deserve to write it on your terms. Part 1, The Silent Light. Why vitamin D is a lifeline for men over 60. There is a certain kind of silence that creeps into a man's life after 60. Not the silence of peace, but of something fading. It starts slowly. Mornings don't come with the same spring in the step. Joints ache, even after a good night's sleep. The mood is heavier. Sometimes you forget why you walked into a room. Sometimes you don't feel like walking into any room at all. And yet, it's not illness. At least, not the kind you can name easily. It's a dimming. A quiet slipping away of energy, strength, and most dangerously hope. Most men brush it off as just getting older. But hidden beneath that excuse is something far more preventable: vitamin D deficiency. The forgotten sunlight. As boys, we ran barefoot in the fields. The sun was our companion, our clock, our warmth. But somewhere along the line, through careers in offices, later life retirements indoors, and the fear of skin damage, we stopped stepping into the light. By age 60, most men spend less time in direct sunlight than ever before. Add to that thinner skin, which absorbs less ultraviolet light, and slower liver and kidney conversion of vitamin D, and the results are almost inevitable. Studies show over half of men above 60 have insufficient or deficient vitamin D levels. And yet, most don't know. Or worse, they don't believe it matters. But it does. In more ways than we were taught. Not just about bones. Most people know vitamin D helps build strong bones by helping the body absorb calcium. But for a man in his 60s, vitamin D becomes something even more important. It becomes a protector of dignity, clarity, and vitality. Here's how. Mood and mental health. Low vitamin D is closely tied to depression and mood disorders, especially in older men. It's not just feeling down, it's brain chemistry. Many men suffering from chronic sadness or a lack of motivation could, in part, be missing this vital nutrient. Immune system defense. Vitamin D plays a key role in regulating immune responses, helping the body fight infections and chronic inflammation. A deficiency leaves older men more vulnerable not just to colds, but to autoimmune conditions and even some cancers. Muscle strength and fall prevention. Weak legs, shaky balance, increased risk of falling. These aren't just consequences of age, they're signs of a body losing muscle tone and nerve control due to a lack of vitamin D. Energy and resilience. While not a direct energy booster like caffeine, vitamin D influences hormonal balance, including testosterone and insulin function. It supports the kind of stamina needed to engage with life, not just observe it. A true story. Morning light saved me. Let me tell you about my friend Min. A retired engineer, disciplined and quiet, who once climbed the mountains of northern Vietnam in his youth. At 67, he told me, "I feel like a shadow of who I was." He no longer left the house much. His knees ached, he was always tired, and he'd lost interest in even his beloved garden. His blood tests revealed dangerously low levels of vitamin D. With his doctor's guidance, he began a simple but profound shift: daily supplements, and 15 minutes of early morning sunlight each day. 6 weeks later, his wife called me in tears. "He smiles again. He's back." It wasn't a miracle cure. But it was a key. A quiet unlocking of something trapped behind closed windows and drawn curtains. How much, how often, how to know. Daily dose. For most men over 60, experts recommend 800 to 2000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, especially if sun exposure is limited. Get tested. A simple blood test, serum 25:0D, can reveal your levels. Aim for at least 30 ng/ml, though optimal levels may be closer to 40 to 60 for well-being. Sunlight tips. Mid-morning sunlight, 8 to 10 am, for 10 to 20 minutes on bare arms and face is often enough in tropical or summer months. In winter or cloudier regions, supplements are essential. Food sources: fatty fish, salmon, sardines, egg yolks, and fortified dairy or plant milk can help, but sunlight remains the best source. The deeper lesson: light as a lifestyle. Vitamin D is not just a nutrient. It's a symbol. A symbol of how modern men often forget to stand in the light literally and emotionally. We shut the world out, sit longer, move less, believe less in our own vitality. But nature has not given up on us. The sun still rises, the body still responds. And the soul, yes, even the soul can begin to glow again when it feels warmth and light return. You are not too old. You are not too late. You are just in need of a second sunrise. Final words for part 1. If you are a man over 60, or you loved one, start here. Not with expensive treatments. Not with fear. But with light. Let the sun back in. Let your body remember the warmth it was born for. Sometimes, the most powerful medicine is also the simplest: step outside. The sun never forgets to rise. Sometimes, we just forget to meet it. Part 2, the forgotten fuel, vitamin B12 and the fight against fading minds. There's a cruel irony to aging. The mind, once sharp as a blade, begins to dull not with a bang but with a whisper. Names vanish mid-sentence. Keys disappear, though you know you put them on the counter. Conversations feel like fog, and fatigue creeps in even after a night's sleep. For many men over 60, this quiet erosion of clarity is terrifying. But here's the truth that most doctors don't say loud enough. It might not be age. It might be vitamin B12 deficiency. A spark we don't talk about enough. Vitamin B12 doesn't sound dramatic. It doesn't get the headlines that vitamin D or omega-3s do. But for the aging male body, especially the brain, it is everything. B12 is essential for the creation of red blood cells, proper nerve function, and DNA synthesis. And when it starts to slip away, the symptoms don't scream. They whisper. Gently. Relentlessly. Low B12 can mimic dementia. It can make a man feel lost in a world he once led. And the danger is, it often gets misdiagnosed as just getting older. But just older shouldn't mean just forgetful, just tired, or just not yourself. Why deficiency happens silently. Unlike vitamins stored in fat, B12 is water-soluble, meaning your body doesn't keep reserves for long. And as men age, several factors quietly interfere. Weakened stomach acid: after 60, stomach acid production decreases, making it harder to extract B12 from food. Medication interference: common drugs like antacids, metformin, or blood pressure meds can block B12 absorption. Reduced meat intake: many older adults eat less red meat or animal products, main B12 sources. Gastrointestinal issues: conditions like gastritis, Crohn's, or even past surgeries can reduce absorption. The result? A slow, undetectable leak in the system. Months pass. Then years. And one day, something feels off. The symptoms most men ignore. Low B12 doesn't look the same for everyone, but here are the most common and commonly ignored signs. Chronic fatigue, even after rest. Memory lapses and confusion. Tingling or numbness in hands and feet. Unsteady gait or balance issues. Irritability, anxiety, or mood swings. Pale skin or a swollen tongue. Many of these seem unrelated. But together, they point to a brain and body that's running on fumes. The man who came back to life. Let me tell you about Walter. A 72-year-old retired teacher, proud grandfather of 5. For years, his wife thought he was developing early Alzheimer's. He was forgetful, quiet, withdrawn. He began avoiding family dinners because he couldn't follow the chatter. But it wasn't dementia. It was B12 deficiency caught by a sharp young doctor who insisted on a blood test. 3 months after starting B12 injections and a high-dose supplement, Walter was cracking jokes at dinner again. His memory sharpened, his gait improved, and he no longer needed a mid-afternoon nap just to stay upright. I thought I was disappearing, he told me. But I was just starving my brain. How much do you need, and how to get it? Brain recommended intake. The general recommendation for adults is 2.4 micrograms per day, but older adults often need more, especially if absorption is compromised. Syringe supplements or injections. For mild deficiency, sublingual, under the tongue, B12 tablets can bypass digestive issues. For severe cases, monthly injections might be needed to restore proper levels quickly. Always consult a doctor before beginning high doses. Cooking food sources of B12. Beef liver, extremely rich in B12. Eggs. Salmon, tuna, sardines. Fortified cereals and plant-based milk, for vegetarians. The real issue, losing yourself before you're gone. There's a deeper wound in all this, one that goes beyond biology. A man's identity is tightly bound to his mind, his ability to remember, lead, speak with clarity. So when memory falters, even slightly, it isn't just confusing. It's humiliating. He begins to withdraw. Not out of anger but shame. And that's the tragedy. Some of the sharpest men we've known, fathers, husbands, uncles, begin to vanish from the inside out, for no reason other than a missing vitamin. That's not fate. That's neglect. And it's something we can change. This is not just about memory, it's about dignity. We often talk about aging as a slow unraveling. But I believe that with awareness, it can also be a deep remembering. Remembering that your body still matters. That your brain still hungers for fuel. That even at 65, 70, or 80 you deserve clarity, vitality, and joy. And sometimes, that journey begins with something as deceptively small as a vitamin. Closing thoughts for part 2. If you're over 60 and you've felt a fog creeping into your days, don't wait. Get your B12 levels checked. Feed your brain the fuel it was built on. You're not losing yourself. You might just be running on empty. And the good news is, the tank can be filled again. A man is not his age. He is his clarity, his memory, and his will to stay present. Don't fade. Nourish the mind. Stay here fully. Part 3, The Gentle Warrior, Why Vitamin E Protects the Man Within. Aging for a man is not always about loss. It's about listening to what remains. After 60, there's a subtle shift in how a man inhabits his body. He begins to notice changes in skin elasticity, strength, stamina. But what truly unsettles him isn't the visible, it's the quiet erosion of vitality. The kind of strength that isn't just about lifting things, but about showing up, for his partner, for himself, for life. And somewhere in this transition, a humble nutrient waits in the background. Uncelebrated. Underestimated. Vitamin E. Not just a beauty vitamin. For decades, vitamin E has been relegated to skincare shelves, talked about mostly in terms of glowing skin or wrinkle prevention. But that's only part of the story. For men, especially those over 60, vitamin E is not cosmetic. It's core. It's a fat-soluble antioxidant that protects every cell in your body from oxidative damage. Think of it like armor for your cells. But it's not just shielding your skin, it's guarding your blood vessels, your nerves, even your sexual confidence. The hidden assault of oxidative stress. As we age, the body produces more free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cells and accelerate aging. This process, called oxidative stress, is like internal rusting. It contributes to everything from heart disease and joint pain to memory decline and reduced sexual function. Vitamin E helps neutralize these free radicals, preventing damage before it takes hold. In simple terms, it buys you time. Not just on the calendar but in quality of life. The confidence you don't talk about. Let's be honest, men over 60 often don't talk about how aging affects intimacy. Not in public. Sometimes not even with their partners. But it matters. Deeply. Declines in blood flow, hormonal changes, and stress can quietly chip away at sexual function. And with it, confidence. Here's where vitamin E steps in. Improved circulation. Vitamin E supports blood vessel health, promoting better flow not just to the heart but to all areas that matter. Hormonal support. It plays a role in maintaining healthy testosterone levels and sperm function. Anti-inflammatory effects. Chronic inflammation affects libido and stamina. Vitamin E helps calm that internal fire. It won't make you 25 again, but it can help you feel like a man again with dignity and energy. The story of Mr. Hai, when touch meant more than talk. Mr. Hai, 69, was a widower who fell in love again. He was open about his fear. I'm scared I can't love her the way she deserves. He wasn't talking about feelings. He meant touch, connection, intimacy. His energy was low. His hands trembled. He said his body no longer responded the way it used to. After a full checkup, his doctor recommended a plan that included 400 IU of natural vitamin E daily, along with omega-3s and light exercise. 3 months later, he didn't tell me everything changed. He told me this. Now, when I hold her hand, I don't feel like I'm fading. I feel warm, present, capable. It wasn't magic. It was maintenance. Sometimes, healing comes not from one miracle, but from consistent care. Beyond intimacy, what else does vitamin E do for older men? Heart health. Reduces oxidative damage to cholesterol particles, which may help protect arteries. Supports elasticity in blood vessels, promoting stable blood pressure. Brain protection. Antioxidants like vitamin E may help delay cognitive decline. Several studies link it to slower progression of conditions like Alzheimer's when paired with a healthy lifestyle. Eye health. Helps reduce the risk of age-related macular degeneration, a common cause of vision loss. Lotion bottle skin and wound healing. Promotes faster healing in aging skin and protects it from sun damage and dryness. How much, how often, and what kind? Daily needs. Most experts suggest 15 mg, 22.4 IU, of vitamin E daily. For therapeutic benefits in older men, 200 to 400 IU/day of natural vitamin E, D-alpha-tocopherol, is commonly used. Note, always consult your doctor before starting high doses, especially if on blood thinners. Food sources. Peanuts, almonds, hazelnuts. Leafy green spinach, Swiss chard. Avocados. Sunflower seeds, vegetable oils. Supplement tips, look for D-alpha on labels, natural form, not DL-alpha, synthetic. The philosophy of strength after 60. When we talk about men's health after 60, we often reduce it to survival. But what if we changed the language? From survive to thrive. From function to fulfillment. From it's too late to this still matters. Vitamin E doesn't make you superhuman. But it reminds you that the small, daily choices matter. That protecting your cells, your memory, your confidence, your circulation is worth your attention. Because you're still here. And you're still needed. And maybe, your best conversations, your most tender nights, and your clearest thoughts are not behind you, but ahead. Closing reflection for part 3. Aging isn't the end of the story, it's the part where the quiet warrior inside you steps forward. Let vitamin E be part of your defense. Not because you're afraid of getting older, but because you honor what you still carry inside. There's a kind of strength that doesn't roar. It holds your hand steady, keeps your heart open, and lets you keep saying yes to love, to life, to touch.